they beauty, so yeah. And like
one might think that this is just a country, a remote island with peculiar colors. But those who stay long enough discover the truth. Iceland is a temperament. Each shade is a gesture, a way of speaking without words, a way of remembering that beauty is not always given away, fragility is not always shown, and depth is not always revealed. There are places that shape character. This one examines it. In the end, one does not know whether one came to understand the landscape or to understand oneself under the silent gaze of its colors. Icelandic black has no shadows. It is the shadow itself. It is the foundation, the structure, the burnt memory of a world that once burned. Basalt, cooled lava, beaches that seem designed to remind us that beauty is not always luminous. Black here does not intimidate, it warns. It is the soft voice of the landscape, the one that says, "Be careful," without looking up. A black that does not seek to frighten, but to teach us to walk with respect. Like when one approaches a mystery that must not be profaned, but from which one cannot turn away either. Yellow is a fleeting miracle. It appears in slanting light, in timid lichens, in sunsets that seem to want to linger a little longer. It is a yellow that appears when the sky decides to be kind. It lacks the insolence of the tropics or the theatricality of the desert. Its brightness is a respite, a small gesture of warmth that, coming from where it comes from, takes on unexpected value. You see it and think of those smiles that don't happen every day, but when they do, they light up more than they let on. Gray is the most revealing color. It is the bridge between what is shown and what is hidden. It permeates everything: rock, memory, air. It is a gray that promises nothing and yet holds the whole truth. Like certain temperaments that do not seek to impress, but whose mere presence commands the room. A mature gray, weathered by eruptions and silences, reminiscent of those souls who do not need to raise their voices to be respected. In its apparent neutrality, it holds a strength that no one knows where it comes from, but everyone feels. Iceland's whiteness is not innocent. It has the coldness of something that never asks to be understood. It opens up like a mirror that reflects not the face, but the intention. It is a whiteness that forces you to walk more slowly, like someone approaching a soul that seems simple but hides a complexity that is not revealed at first glance. Sometimes it is soft, like a caress that withdraws prematurely. Other times, it is harsh, like a response that disarms. Down there, the ice breathes, and one understands that there are purities that do not exist to console, but to test the steadfastness of those who contemplate them. The blue here is ancient. It's not sky, sea, or water. It is a mood, a deep tone that never raises its voice. Geothermal steam tinges it with a silent blue that seems to hold secrets that will never be spoken. You look at it and understand that not all depths are meant to be explored. Some exist only to remind us that beauty can be distant, but never indifferent. Icelandic blue cannot be possessed, it can only be admired. and that is more than many deserve. The green here is not lush, it is resilient. It grows where it shouldn't grow, as if defying the cold every day. It is a green that does not smile, but accompanies. A green that does not seduce, but remains. Soft, firm, discreet. It clings to every rock with the determination of someone who knows there is no other place to put down roots. You look at it and understand that the deepest tenderness does not need grand gestures. It is enough to survive the night wind to prove it. There are lands that do not reveal their beauty, but hide it as a gesture of ancient modesty. Iceland is one of them. One does not come here to admire the landscape, but to decipher a temperament. One need only observe the colors that adorn it to understand that this is not a territory, but a difficult character, reserved, sensitive to touch, and proud of its own silence. There are places that explain themselves. This is not one of them. Here, every shade demands patience, discipline, and a certain disposition of spirit that almost no one remembers having anymore. When you look at them together, you understand that Iceland's colors don't compete. They converse. White leans over blue like a whisper of calm. Gray acts as a discreet judge, maintaining just the right distance between what dazzles and what beats beneath the rock. The green peeks out more out of respect than ambition, holding back what the wind wants to carry away. Black watches over with the serenity of one who has seen it all. And yellow, as brief as it is sincere, dares to break the severity of the whole with a flash that seeks no approval. Together they form a character that cannot be explained in words, but rather with that of losing their dignity.